They didn't glance at me when the vote began. 28 civilizations, each with their own flags, languages, and a sense of pride honed over millennia, and not one looked toward the small glass box where I sat. I was already invisible. I am Leo Arkan, former representative of Earth to the Interstellar Council, now the lone witness to a vote that would exile 8 billion people. I watched from the observation gallery like a specimen in a tank, ignored. The chamber, known as the Hall of Galactic Accord, had walls that shifted color in response to delegates' emotions. Today, it glowed amber, calm, and indifferent. The vote counter displayed the results in 6 council languages. Numbers spoke a universal truth: 28-1. Resolution X-17 passed. Earth would be severed from all trade, all communication, and all jump gates. 2 dissenting votes drew my attention. The anneal delegate submitted a sealed written dissent, no explanation. The Varani delegate rose briefly, eyes amber and ancient, scanning the chamber before vanishing through a hidden corridor I had never noticed. Filing that was instinct. It kept my mind sharp. Exile would take effect in 72 hours. 3 colonies would be trapped on the wrong side. Nova Haven, a temperate planet with 250,000 residents. The Dust Rings, mining platforms with 130,000 people. And a research outpost on an uncharted moon, home to 3,500 scientists. 383,000 lives now teetered on the edge of isolation. After the gallery emptied, a Vorth administrator arrived. "The gallery is closed. You have no standing here," it said in stilted standard. I only nodded. Presence does not always require standing. Outside, Ambassador Talia Saren waited, tablet in one hand, steaming cup in the other. "The Secretary General wants a call," she said. She looked calm, already 3 steps ahead. I nodded. 71 hours remained. Billions were about to feel the Council's verdict. I sipped bitter tea, thinking about the Varani delegate. I had one chance to understand the silence, the vote, and perhaps the hidden path within it. If there was a loophole, I had to find it. The Council has drawn its line, but one unseen observer may have left a hidden path. The Varani delegate's name, once I forced the station directory to render it phonetically, was Amira. I shortened it in my head to Ama, a human handle to make her presence manageable in my thoughts. I found her in Conclave Station 9, in a humid corridor designed for aquatic species. The air clung to me, heavy and warm, as if I were moving through liquid. Her door opened before I knocked. She had been expecting me, or perhaps her senses made knocking irrelevant. Either way, there was no need for formalities. Ama was smaller than the gallery suggested, compact, built in horizontal layers like deep-water organisms. Her skin shimmered between dark teal and muted green, shifting with the light. Her eyes were amber, ancient and patient, like old oceans observing new islands. "I voted against the exile," I said, voice steady. "Yes," she replied. "The L did too. But we did not vote for humanity. We voted against the permanence clause. 28 votes satisfy operational thresholds, not permanence." I considered that, a gap in the Council's resolution. "You left an opening," I said. She tilted her head slightly. "Exile has outcomes. Species either diminish or harden. Humanity arrived here irregularly, without guidance. We were curious which path you would take. That's all." Before I could respond, my tablet vibrated. A priority relay from the Gate Authority flashed an alert. A colony ship had attempted transit. Attempt 1, success. Attempt 2, threshold exceeded. Attempt 3, non-recoverable. I placed the tablet face down. Ama observed silently. the way ancient things watch without judgment. You have 32 hours. After that, I am required elsewhere. This conversation will not exist in any official record. The weight of that statement pressed on me. I had a ship, a crew, and 3 colonies isolated on the wrong side of a closed gate. The council believed they had severed us, but Amma and the Ale had left gaps. I intended to find them and use them. As I left the humid corridor, I thought about the stakes. 72 hours until closure, billions of people dependent on networks no one else could see or understand. Amma's loophole was fragile, and every moment counted. The hidden path through the stars might be humanity's only chance to survive exile intact. I turned toward the Meridian, my ship waiting at the transit hub. The stars outside the station window were innumerable and indifferent. On the other side of the gate, Earth's people would soon discover what the Council had decided. My task was to ensure that decision did not define their fate. A loophole in the Council's resolution exists. Humanity may survive the exile if they can navigate the hidden paths in time.
The Meridian's observation deck offered a clear view of the jump gate, immense and cold, final in its geometry. But Amma's words echoed in my mind, a gap, a hidden path. Humanity had 32 hours to use it before the Council closed every avenue. The crew was gathered on the bridge, aware of the stakes. 11 people, loyal and skilled, ready for a mission no one had trained for. Owen Trent, navigator, traced asteroid relay clusters and unregistered merchant corridors, while Lyra Voss, communications, checked encryption and masking protocols. "We're operating outside Council observation," I said, "not ignoring, but parallel. Every move counts." Owen's fingers flew across the holographic charts. "I've cross-referenced trade corridors, independent stations, and asteroid relays. There's one cluster positioned perfectly between Nova Haven and the dust rings. If functional, it can relay secure, untraceable signals." I gave the order. Lyra initiated the first test transmissions. Low-frequency pulses traveled along asteroid relays and through dormant corridors, designed to appear as background noise to Council scans. A response came almost instantly. Carol Deneen, Nova Haven's coordinator, confirmed, "We hear you. We are not abandoned." Relief hit me, but there was no time to linger. The Council scanners were precise and patient. Any signal misstep could expose the network, strand colonies, and doom the plan. Owen adjusted the relay paths to stagger bursts and reroute critical transmissions. Lyra monitored continuously, ensuring every packet remained masked. Each adjustment was a delicate balance, enough to communicate, but not enough to draw attention. Meanwhile, the colonies began preliminary autonomous operations. Nova Haven stabilized energy grids and resource distribution. Dust Rings miners rerouted supplies along local paths, and the research outpost initiated life support recalibration sequences. Humanity was beginning to act independently, asserting presence where the Council believed there was none. I allowed a small moment of pride. Exile had forced humanity to innovate, to adapt, to coordinate under impossible conditions. We were compressing the chaos of billions into a resilient network, drawing a line invisible to the galaxy. Amma's message arrived again, brief as ever. "Your window is closing. Proceed with care. Non-attributable actions only." I stood at the observation window, staring at the gate. 71 hours had passed. The Council expected compliance and chaos, but we were proving them wrong. Humanity had become unpredictable, resilient, and irreducible. I turned to the crew. "The colonies are alive and listening.
Every relay pulse is a lifeline. We will not be erased, and the Council will not understand our presence until we decide they can. For a moment, the stars outside seemed to watch us as we watched them. Each blink of light, each invisible transmission was a testament to human ingenuity, determination, and survival. The first line had been drawn, and it held. Humanity's first secret line is alive, reaching the colonies. Can the network remain hidden as the Council continues to watch?
The colonies were awakening. Nova Haven's central hub stabilized its energy grids, distributing power across the city and surrounding settlements. Dust Rings miners rerouted supplies through local generators, independent of Earth-side oversight. The research outpost recalibrated life support systems autonomously, exceeding efficiency standards we had thought impossible. From the Meridian, I watched it all unfold. Every encrypted channel buzzed with life, each pulse a heartbeat across the void. Lyra Voss coordinated updates, ensuring instructions were precise, clear, and achievable for personnel who had never acted without guidance. Council scanners had begun noticing irregularities. Signals that had appeared as harmless background noise now persisted, patterns faintly visible but untraceable. They would begin investigations soon, though not fast enough to stop the initial independent operations. Prepare for escalating scrutiny, I told the crew. Every signal must be masked, every transmission staggered. The colonies cannot be exposed. Carol Dean's line came through. Systems are stable. Citizens understand autonomy protocols. Resource distribution and life support remain fully functional. Owen Trent adjusted relay paths on the navigation charts. If Council probes intensify, we can route communications through lesser-known corridors. They aren't registered, and traffic there is minimal. Our network will remain invisible. Amma's message arrived. Gate locks are now final. Proceed with caution. Timing is critical. Her words reminded me that our window was shrinking. 30 hours remained before the gate jumps would close completely, severing direct contact. The colonies responded in perfect synchronization. Nova Haven adjusted power loads autonomously. Dust Rings miners optimized mining outputs along new supply paths. The research outpost transmitted a fully functional atmospheric update. Humanity was operating independently, efficiently, and invisibly. The Meridian's bridge fell quiet for a moment, the hum of the ship the only sound. Outside, stars drifted indifferent. Inside, every pulse of data, every relay adjustment, every autonomous operation was a silent assertion of human presence. Exile could not erase us. I addressed the crew again. The Council expects failure. They anticipate chaos, dependence, scarcity. What they will find is autonomy, resilience, and coordination. Humanity is alive, fully operational, and unseen. Owen exhaled, eyes still on the star field. They'll notice anomalies, but not patterns. That's our advantage. Lyra added, if we maintain staggered transmissions, rotating relays, and encryption rotations, the Council can monitor all they want. They won't trace it back to the colonies or the Meridian. I nodded, feeling the first spark of cautious optimism. Humanity had not just survived, we had begun to thrive under conditions meant to break us. Each encrypted pulse, each independent action was a line drawn invisibly across the stars. The colonies are fully awake and operational. The Council is noticing anomalies, but humanity operates beyond their comprehension. Can the network hold until gate closure?
Time pressed against us. The jump gates would close in under 24 hours. Every encrypted pulse, every relay adjustment, every autonomous operation had to work perfectly. One misstep could expose the colonies, strand them permanently, and compromise the hidden network. Carol Dane reported from Nova Haven. All systems stable. Energy grids, water cycles, food distribution, fully autonomous. Citizens are following independence protocols without issue.
Dust Rings miners confirmed similar success. Supplies flowed along newly forged local routes. Mining and processing operations continued without Earthside guidance. Even the research outpost had transmitted a complete atmospheric recalibration schematic optimized beyond our expectations. The Council's scanners were intensifying. Minor anomalies had been detected near asteroid relay hubs. Instruments were precise, calculating, attempting to trace hidden paths. Any signal pattern could reveal the network. I leaned over the navigation console. Adjust transmissions, stagger bursts, reroute critical communications, keep signals within acceptable noise parameters. We cannot be exposed. Owen Trent and Lyra Voss worked with precision. Every relay path, every burst of data was carefully calibrated. Background noise masks, concealed patterns, and automated systems ensured colonies stayed synchronized without revealing themselves. From Nova Haven, Carol transmitted, "Energy, water, and food systems stable for 60 standard hours. Operational autonomy verified. The population is ready." The colonies were proving themselves resilient. Humanity had been underestimated. Exile, intended to break us, instead forced innovation, coordination, and independent problem-solving at a scale no council analyst anticipated. Amma's message arrived, brief as ever. Observation continues, timing critical. All actions must remain non-attributable. I nodded to the crew. This is our final window. The colonies are independent and fully operational. The network must remain hidden. Every pulse, every transmission is a lifeline. Minutes stretched into hours. Each colony verified autonomous operation. Power grids self-corrected fluctuations. Mining output stabilized. Life support systems optimized. Humanity was asserting presence where the Council believed there was nothing. Owen Trent studied the star field. The Council sees anomalies but cannot interpret them. They don't understand what they're looking at. I allowed a small, grim smile. Exile had failed. Humanity was alive, independent, coordinated, and untraceable. Our hidden network was not just surviving, it was asserting existence in parallel to Council authority. The Meridian hummed quietly. Every encrypted pulse, every asteroid relay, every unregistered corridor was a silent declaration. Humanity could not be erased. The colonies are fully independent. The Council is beginning to trace anomalies, but the network remains invisible. Can humanity maintain its hidden lifeline as gate closure approaches?
The Council's probes were no longer tentative. They moved deliberately, scanning asteroid relays and merchant corridors with precision. Any misstep could expose the network and compromise billions of lives. Owen Trent traced signal paths across the holographic star map. They're converging on the relays. One mistake and they'll identify the colony's coordination. Then we adapt. Stagger transmissions, rotate relays, and feed decoy signals. Let them see activity without understanding it. Lyra Voss monitored encryption and masking protocols. Every colony was synced, every relay active. Signals remained non-attributable. The Council could detect patterns, but they could not trace them. Carol Dane confirmed from Nova Haven. Energy, water, and food systems stable. Citizens follow independence protocols. Network integrity intact. The Dust Rings reported similarly. Miners and processing units ran autonomously, following pre-established contingency plans. The research outpost transmitted updates to environmental and life support systems, exceeding Earthside standards. Amma's message flickered across the screen. Your window is closing. Ensure non-attributable actions. Network stability is paramount. I allowed a brief sense of satisfaction. Humanity was surviving Council scrutiny, operating in gaps the Council could not regulate.
The hidden network was alive, efficient, and secure. Exile had inadvertently strengthened our colonies, forcing them into complete autonomy. Owen spoke quietly. They see anomalies, but they can't interpret them. That's our advantage. As long as we stay just outside their comprehension, the colonies are safe. I turned to the crew. Every relay, every transmission, every autonomous operation is a lifeline. We prove humanity can survive without approval. Exile does not erase us. The Meridian hummed with precision. Crew members coordinated silently, executing signal rotations and operational checks. Each colony acted independently, yet remained part of the larger network. Humanity was compressed into a resilient system, resilient enough to outlast Council oversight. Minutes passed, and the Council's scans intensified, yet the hidden network remained intact. Humanity's colonies were proving they could operate without interference, responding to challenges with ingenuity, discipline, and foresight. For the first time, I felt a cautious optimism. Exile had forced humanity to innovate, to consolidate, and to demonstrate resilience on a scale the Council had not anticipated. The network was more than a communication line. It was a statement. We existed, untraceable, yet undeniable. Council probes are escalating. Humanity's colonies remain independent, but every action counts. Can Leo maintain the hidden network before the Council adapts?
The final hours before gate closure pressed down like gravity. The colonies were fully operational, every system running autonomously. Signals from the hidden network were encrypted, staggered, and masked. The Council's probes had intensified, sweeping the asteroid relays and merchant corridors, but they remained blind to the network's purpose. Carol Dean's confirmation came through. All colonies stable, citizens fully engaged in independence protocols, resource distribution, energy grids, life support systems, functioning without guidance. Owen Trent scanned the star map. They're noticing patterns but can't trace them. Humanity is operating outside their framework. That's unprecedented. I nodded, surveying the Meridian's bridge. 11 people, a single ship, and 3 colonies isolated across the void, all moving in coordinated silence. Every relay adjustment, every encrypted pulse was proof that the Council could not erase us. Prepare for full autonomous operation, I said. Every system must maintain stability without intervention. Every relay must remain undetectable. Timing is everything. The colonies responded with precision. Nova Haven recalibrated energy loads automatically. Dust rings miners optimized resource output along the newly established supply lines. The research outpost transmitted a complete environmental system update, now fully autonomous. Humanity was asserting presence where the Council believed there was nothing. Amma's message arrived. Observation continues, non-attributable actions only. Window closing. I allowed a small, grim smile. Exile had been intended to erase us. Instead, it forced the colonies to adapt, to coordinate independently, and to demonstrate resilience. Humanity had drawn a line in space that no Council vote could undo. Lyra Voss rotated transmission bursts across the asteroid relays, masking activity from Council probes. Every packet of data carried a silent declaration: we exist independently, and our presence cannot be erased. Owen leaned back, eyes on the star field outside. They'll notice anomalies, but the network is untraceable. Our window may be short, but it is enough. I turned to the crew. This is humanity asserting existence. Exile does not define us. Every signal,
Every operation, every pulse is a lifeline for billions. We are not numbers. We are present, resilient, and independent. Minutes bleeded into hours. Each colony verified autonomous operations, systems self-corrected and optimized, proving that independence was possible and sustainable. Humanity's first line had been drawn, and it held. The Meridian hummed steadily. Outside, stars drifted indifferent. Inside, every human, every signal, every relay was a testament to ingenuity and survival. Exile could not erase us. It could only sharpen our resilience. The gates will close soon. Humanity's hidden network is fully operational. Can the colonies maintain autonomy under the Council's escalating scrutiny?
The countdown reached 0. The jump gate pulsed once, immense and final. Darkness replaced the corridor beyond, cutting direct Earthside access. Billions of humans were now fully isolated. Inside the Meridian, the crew held steady. "Gate is closed," Owen Trent said. "No direct path. The colonies are on their own." I exhaled, but relief was cautious. "Relay network status?" Lyra Voss confirmed. "All channels secure, signals masked through asteroid relays and independent corridors. Council sweeps detect only background noise. The colonies are receiving and transmitting." The first minutes were critical. Nova Haven confirmed stable energy grids, water cycles, and food distribution. Dust Rings miners optimized supply lines autonomously. The research outpost completed its final atmospheric calibration, fully self-sufficient. Humanity was alive in the void. Carol Dean transmitted calmly. "Systems fully operational. Citizens understand autonomy protocols. No critical failures." Council probes had shifted into active monitoring, focusing on asteroid relays and merchant corridors. Every movement, every encrypted pulse could potentially expose the network. Amma's message arrived. "Observation continues. Timing critical. All actions must remain non-attributable." I addressed the crew. "The colonies are fully independent. Every relay, every transmission is a lifeline. We cannot falter. Exile was meant to sever us, but we have turned it into advantage." The colonies executed coordinated actions simultaneously. Nova Haven's power grids adjusted autonomously. Dust Rings optimized resource collection. The research outpost transmitted data and recalibrated life support systems. Every colony functioned independently, yet in perfect synchronization. Owen observed the star field. "They see anomalies, but they can't trace them. The network is invisible in plain sight. Humanity is present where they hoped there was nothing." For the first time, I allowed myself to feel a cautious pride. Exile had forced innovation and autonomy. Humanity had drawn a line, invisible but real, across the stars. Every pulse, every relay, every independent action was proof we could survive. I turned to the crew. "Every transmission counts. Every action asserts our presence. Exile cannot erase what has been built. Humanity is alive, independent, and undetectable." The Meridian hummed steadily. Outside, stars drifted indifferent. Inside, we had built something remarkable, a hidden network, fully operational, invisible, and unbreakable, at least for now. The gate is closed. Humanity's colonies are isolated, yet fully operational. Can the hidden network endure as the Council intensifies its scrutiny?
The Council's probes had escalated from observation to active investigation. Their instruments swept asteroid relays and merchant corridors with precision. Any misstep could reveal the colony's coordination, compromise the network, and strand billions of people. Owen Trent studied the navigation map. "They're following patterns, but they don't understand them. One error, one repeated pulse, and they'll identify the nodes." "Then we adapt in real time," I said. "Rotate transmissions, stagger activity, and feed decoy signals. let them detect anomalies without interpreting them. Lyra Voss adjusted every relay and encrypted channel. Signals remained non-attributable. Even as the Council's instruments swept closer, every colony stayed in sync, operating independently. Humanity's presence persisted where the Council assumed there was nothing. Carol Dean reported from Nova Haven. Energy, water, and food systems stable. Citizens follow independence protocols flawlessly. The network integrity is holding. Dust Rings miners confirmed continued autonomy, rerouting supply lines and maintaining production without Earthside guidance. The research outpost uploaded updated environmental controls, ensuring survival under isolation. Amma's brief message appeared. Observation intensifies, timing critical, maintain non-attributable actions. We had become invisible, yet undeniable. Exile had intended to sever humanity, but it had forced innovation, resilience, and coordination on a scale no Council analyst anticipated. Each encrypted pulse, each autonomous operation was proof of survival and presence. Owen exhaled, eyes on the starfield. They see anomalies but cannot trace them. That's our advantage. As long as we maintain staggered transmissions, the colonies are secure. I nodded, surveying the bridge. Humanity was proving that independence was possible even under observation. We were not bound by Council expectations, by rules, or by oversight. Every colony acted autonomously, every relay operated invisibly, and the hidden network was resilient. Minutes stretched into hours. Each system verified autonomous operation. The colonies were self-sufficient and coordinated. Humanity was asserting its existence parallel to Council authority, beyond their control. I allowed a small smile. Exile had failed, not because of rebellion or argument, but because humanity had adapted faster than the Council could anticipate. Our colonies were alive, operational, and beyond immediate reach. The Council's probes are actively pursuing patterns. Humanity's hidden network remains intact, but every action counts. Can Leo maintain the system under intensifying scrutiny?
The Meridian's bridge was alive with precise activity. Every pulse of data, every relay adjustment, every autonomous operation carried the weight of billions of lives. Humanity had survived the Council's scrutiny and was now asserting a presence that could not be erased. Owen Trent traced the network across the holographic star map. All colonies are linked, redundant paths secure, signals masked. Any attempt to trace them fails. Lyra Voss monitored encryption rotation, staggered transmissions, and the asteroid relay matrix. Council probes can scan all they want. They see only background noise. The network is invisible. Carol Dane transmitted from Nova Haven. Energy grids, water systems, and food distribution fully autonomous. Citizens understand independence protocols. Network integrity remains intact. Dust Rings miners confirmed resource flows, supply routes, and production were fully independent. The research outpost sent a final update to atmospheric control systems, now operating without intervention. Amma's message arrived. Observation continues. Maintain non-attributable actions. Timing is critical. I allowed a brief moment of satisfaction. Humanity was no longer just surviving exile. We were thriving in isolation. The colonies acted independently, coordinated by a network the Council could not trace in a space the Council had assumed controlled. Owen leaned back, watching the stars. They notice anomalies but cannot interpret them. Humanity is present outside their framework. That's our advantage. I addressed the crew. Every transmission, every relay, every autonomous operation asserts existence. The Council anticipated compliance, chaos, and scarcity. What they see instead is coordination, resilience, and independence. Signals rotated seamlessly through asteroid relays and merchant corridors. The colonies remained in perfect synchronization without revealing the network. Every system, every citizen was executing a silent statement. Humanity would not be erased. The Meridian hummed quietly, a constant reminder of human ingenuity. We had drawn a line across the stars invisible to the Council, and it held. Exile had failed. Humanity was alive, independent, and undetectable. Minutes became hours. Each colony verified autonomous operations. Energy, water, food, and life support systems adjusted and optimized themselves. The hidden network was stable, resilient, and fully functional. I allowed a small, grim smile. The Council had thought it could contain us. Instead, humanity had turned isolation into advantage, building a parallel presence beyond oversight. Humanity's colonies are fully linked, resilient, and invisible. Council interference intensifies, but the network remains intact. Can humanity maintain its independence as scrutiny grows?
The Meridian vibrated with quiet intensity. Humanity's hidden network was fully operational, but the Council had escalated its probes. Their ships scanned asteroid relays and unregistered corridors, searching for patterns that could expose the colonies. Owen Trent traced every relay and corridor. They're pushing harder. If they detect one node, the entire network could be compromised. Then we must stay ahead, I said. Every transmission, every burst of data must remain non-attributable. The colonies cannot be exposed. Lyra Voss monitored encryption rotations and staggered transmissions. Every colony remained synchronized. Signals appeared as background noise to the Council. Yet the network carried life-saving data, operational instructions, and autonomous control sequences. Carol Dane confirmed from Nova Haven. All systems stable, citizens fully aware of independence protocols, energy, water, and food systems functioning, network integrity intact. Dust Rings miners reported optimized production and supply routes. The research outpost transmitted a final recalibration for life support systems. Humanity's presence in exile was now undeniable. Amma's brief message arrived. Final observation phase, timing critical. 12 hours until direct Council escalation. I allowed a small, cautious smile. Exile had forced humanity to innovate. Each colony was independent, every relay operational, every signal hidden yet vital. We had turned what was meant to isolate us into an advantage. Owen looked over the navigation map. Council probes can detect anomalies but cannot interpret the network. They don't understand what they're looking at. That's our advantage. If we maintain discipline, the colonies remain safe. I turned to the crew. This is humanity asserting its existence outside Council authority. Every encrypted pulse, every autonomous operation, every decision by the colonies is a statement. We are present, we are resilient, and we cannot be erased. Minutes passed. Each system verified autonomy. Energy grids self-corrected, resource flows stabilized, life support systems optimized themselves. Humanity had drawn its line in the stars, invisible yet undeniable. The Meridian hummed steadily, a testament to human ingenuity. Outside, stars drifted indifferent. Inside, every pulse, every signal, every autonomous colony was proof of survival and assertion. For the first time in months, a sense of cautious accomplishment settled over me. The Council expected compliance, chaos, and dependency. Instead, they would find resilience, independence, and coordination beyond their calculations. Humanity had turned exile into a demonstration of capability and autonomy. The network is fully operational, the colonies independent, and Council interference escalating. Can humanity maintain its hidden advantage and secure permanent autonomy?
The Meridian glided silently through the void. The colonies were fully operational, each node independent yet coordinated. Council probes lingered, scanning asteroid relays and corridors, but they could detect patterns without understanding them. Humanity existed where they had expected only absence. Carol Dane's line confirmed stability. Energy grids, water systems, and life support fully autonomous. Citizens executing independence protocols flawlessly. Network integrity intact. Dust Rings miners reported steady production, independent supply routes, and optimized outputs. The research outpost transmitted environmental system updates, exceeding Earthside performance standards. Every colony functioned without oversight, demonstrating resilience the Council had never anticipated. Owen Trent leaned over the navigation map. They can detect anomalies, but they cannot trace them. Humanity is operating in parallel to the Council, outside their authority. Our window is secure. Amma's final message appeared. Observation concluded. Humanity operates outside Council framework. Network stable. Permanence evident. I allowed a long, steady breath. Humanity had survived the exile, not through argument, not through compliance, but through ingenuity, foresight, and coordination. The colonies had proven independent. The network was untraceable. The line drawn across the stars held. I uncapped a green ink pen from my breast pocket, a small ritual I had carried for months. On a blank log sheet, I drew a line. Here we are. Humanity exists. Independent. Undeniable. For the first time in months, I felt relief. Not victory. This was bigger than any triumph, but the knowledge that billions of people were alive, coordinated, and beyond immediate Council control. Humanity's presence was parallel, persistent, and fully operational. The Meridian hummed quietly. Outside, stars drifted, indifferent. Inside, humanity had carved a space entirely our own. Each encrypted pulse, each autonomous system, each colony acting independently was proof that exile could not erase us. Owen spoke softly, eyes still on the star field. They'll see anomalies, but by then it won't matter. The network is permanent in practice, even if not recognized in Council records. I nodded. Humanity existed in a new legal and operational category, not within the Council, not formally recognized, yet undeniable. Exile had failed to sever us. Instead, it had forced us to adapt, innovate, and assert presence on our own terms. I looked at the stars outside the observation window, infinite, indifferent, yet now crossed by the invisible line we had drawn. Humanity was no longer just a number in a Council vote. We had created a parallel table, a hidden network, and a path that could not be undone. Humanity's exile is neutralized. Colonies are independent, the hidden network secure, and the line drawn across the stars holds. Exile cannot erase us. Humanity endures. May this message strengthen your faith and renew your hope. Thank you for staying until the end. If this touched your heart, like, share, and subscribe to Astro Realms for more uplifting content. May God's blessings overflow in your life. See you soon.